Alright, in right triangle ABC, angle A is a right angle and distance of BA is equal to 48. The distance of AC is equal to 64 and the distance of BC is equal to 80. Use this right triangle and your knowledge of trigonometric ratios to determine the values of x and y in the application of the Pythagorean theorem identity shown below. You should not need to do any calculations. Examining the triangle and applying definitions should suffice. So we have 1 equals the sine squared of c plus the cosine squared of c is equal to, goes to 1 equals x divided by 80 squared plus y over 80 squared. For this triangle, x equals blank and y equals blank. Alright, so we're going to enter your answer for x, then type a semicolon followed by your answer for y. So like this, 42 semicolon 53. Alright, I wish they had written this as 1 equals the sine c being squared plus cosine of angle C being squared. Now, this is traditional math notation, so that is why they used it. I did not see, however, anywhere in the course that explained how that is. This is the sine of angle C being squared plus the cosine of angle C being squared. This is being the sine of angle C being squared plus the cosine of angle C being squared. So it's the same thing. The reason why they do that is so that when you, so that you're not misinterpreting that if the squared was there, that you would square the value of angle C. So that's a little bit about this math notation. The next thing I think to look at is the angle that they gave us is angle C. So that is our perspective angle. So label the triangle based off of our perspective angle. We have our hypotenuse always across, the side length is across from the 90-degree angle, which is our hypotenuse. And then the angle opposite, not the angle, the side opposite our angle is always the opposite side. And then the side length that's touching or becoming the other part of that angle and is not the hypotenuse is the adjacent. So then when they come over here to x divided by 80, well, sine of angle C is the ratio of the opposite side length divided by the hypotenuse side length. So they have the opposite side length as x and the hypotenuse side length as 80. So the opposite side length is 48. So x would be 48. And then let's move on to cosine of our angle C, so being squared. So cosine again of our angle C is the adjacent side length divided by the hypotenuse side length. So the adjacent side length they still have labeled as y, and the hypotenuse side length they have labeled as 80, which it is. The hypotenuse is 80. The adjacent side length is 64, so in this case the y is 64. So this link I think is what will help most of will help out, because this is common math notation. However, if you haven't had the explanation of what it stands for, it is slightly confusing to read at first. So I hope that helped clear it up.